Hard R fans, Hollywood's fans, this is for you right here. What the hell are you doing in Hollywood? The undisputed champion of Black Wrestling Podcasting, the Hard R. Woo!
Hard R Wrestling Podcast.
Acknowledge me if you smell
What the Hard R Wrestling Podcast
is cooking.
And now it's time!
You goddamn right. It's time to start the Hard R. I got a question to ask you.
What's
Why
good?
you do that face? You be like, the Hard R. Every time in the intro, you be like,
I don't know, man.
the Hard R.
First of all, we're not going to be doing this, trying to make fun of my face. He said, I'm going to tell you what happened for real. When I was recording that, I had like I didn't have a shelf that was like level to show me, and you saw all the belts I had. So what I did was I was taking my phone and I had it leaned up against the thermostat. Against the thermostat.
Because it's level. There, right? I get it. I get the vision.
It's level, right? And so when I had the belts, I was trying to hold all the belts and stuff. And like really one of them was slipping when I was like, the Hard. That's why I was like, one of them was slipping. So yeah.
That's hilarious.
That's why it looked like that. But I was like, oh shit, it's the Hard R.
Because that whole thing was Hollywood's vision. Shout out to Hollywood. He's not here due to
it was.
His anal bleeding is flaring.
Right. At first I was like, man, I got so much stuff I'm doing. I don't think I got time for this. I was like, maybe I kind of don't do it, whatever. And the next thing, he just kept hounding us.
He's hounding us.
Need y'all video.
Shout out to him. He got it done.
You were the first one to get it done. And then he was like, franchise Monday. You go, and I was like, oh, all right. And that's when you saw the whole like, and D-Lo was the last one. And it was funny with D-Lo, because D-Lo was like, I don't got no belts. What do y'all want me to do? Like, what do you want? He was like, just do something wrestling related. He was like, I mean, what do you want me to do?
Like, we'll make it magic. And we did. We made it magic. We made magic out of it.
We did. We made magic, but it was just funny. Yes, that's why you see me hold like a little bit the Hard R, because it was kind of slipping off of it, and I didn't feel like the belts I was holding was slipping. I didn't feel like I didn't feel like trying to
Yeah. See, well, your problem is you didn't have slave labor like I did. I made my kids hold the phone. I was like, baby, you're not doing it right. Hold it up. You know what I'm saying? So my poor kid.
Well, I think D-Lo got a kid, right?
No.
Am I the only one that don't have a kid?
You don't got no kids? He's been married for me. Yeah,
right. I'm the only one that's not. I'm the only one that's not married. That's the whole thing.
But yeah, you and D-Lo, y'all share that in common. Y'all don't have any kids that you take care of. Let's be honest. Let's be clear. Right. Because everybody got a pass. Amen. Speaking of which, this is not wrestling. This is not wrestling related, but it's not sitting well in my spirit. My spirit is just tore up. I'm gonna need, and our fellow light-skinned brother, this is gonna be a totally light-skinned broadcast. So I'm gonna just have to say our light-skinned brother from VA, Chris Brown, we need you to get some therapy, because I heard you and your boys whip Usher ass. If that's true, I don't know if it's true, but if it is true,
well, let me put it like this. I've seen
you can't do that to Usher.
I don't know how true it is, how true it's not. Or is it? I saw they said Usher actually. I saw a picture of Usher. He was actually going to get ready to go on his
He looked fine. He looked
Lover and Friends tour thing. He looked fine. You know what's funny, man? It's funny because this young lady, since I moved up to Maryland, I've been up there. You've been up in Maryland there for about how many years?
I sure have.
You've been up here for a while. I moved up to Maryland. Coming up on 4 years. coming up on years.
There is
and
no,
it's funny.
You know what? It doesn't seem that long because you moved right before COVID, so it seemed like 2 years, but like 2 years evaporated. Yeah.
Right, because that first year was just me getting acclimated. I found my spot and I was getting acclimated,
a little bit,
and back and forth. And then I was like, you was like, that was when we was getting ready. We was getting ready to go get in. And you was like, yo, I'm gonna take you out and show you like DC and show you the DMV. And I was like, bet. And then next thing you know, the world shut down. Basically, the world shut down for basically 2.5 years. And so, and the crazy thing is, like, I know everybody was working from home and stuff. Like my job, I remember the day, March 12th, 2020. I was at my former employer, which was I can say it now, whatever, don't matter. NBC Sports. They basically was like, yeah, y'all gonna go home and we'll let y'all know what's up. Seriously, seriously. I sat home like for 4 months, not doing nothing. Like I would like not doing nothing work related. Every once in a while they would call and be like, hey, can you write something up to go on the website? Yeah, that's nothing. I can do that like that or whatever. But man, I was like basically waking up in the morning, go to the bathroom, go in the kitchen, make my coffee, and then plop my ass on the couch and look at TV. It won't no sports on because I'm a sports junkie. So ESPN, man, it was struggle, man.
And even the sports that we were watching was struggle. Like even the WWE was struggle. WWE.
Yeah. But remember, ESPN even released the Jordan documentary like 3 months earlier because
that Jordan documentary felt like everything. We needed it.
Yeah, it like and we needed it, dude, because they're like that. It was supposed to come out like in I think June or July. ESPN was like, "Yo, people are home. Let's go ahead and drop this." And then I just started binging, dude. That was my routine every day. Wake up, bathroom, coffee, fix something to eat. Couch, look at TV, binge shows. I binged Power because I had never seen Power before, and all that stuff like that.
I'm sorry, black people.
You haven't. You're missing out, man. I'm put like this. I'm not going to do you like they did me, because the thing was, I wasn't watching Power because number one, I ain't had stars, and then number two, if it did, I was watching. Reason. Right, I was watching. You know what I'm saying? I was watching Game of Thrones. And the only reason I was able to get Power because working at NBC Sports, which is a Comcast company, we have Xfinity. We had a killer damn deal with our cable. I wish I was
look at God. Look at God. Yes.
So I was able to binge that. But yeah, man, my days were just doing nothing. So yeah. So by the time like the one time you and me really hung out for real was last August. With Sheldon,
I still ain't
in the brunch.
Yes, and I just want to make a proclamation.
That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say much more.
I know you don't like going out like talking about, but I owe you a day. I owe you at least you and my homeboy Jamal moved up here. I owe y'all at least one night of going to.
Was that the guy I met? The other guy that I met?
Jamal? No, I don't think you never met Jamal. Jamal went to Wilson. I don't know if y'all ever met, which is crazy.
I forgot his name. If he watching this, I'm
Jamal
sorry.
Skeeter.
The other dude. The other dude.
He came on the show the season finale of our season. He was the guy that popped up that Hollywood knows. Because
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the other dude when we went to the brunch and then you brought him.
Oh, my boy Austin.
Austin. Oh, not Austin. The other dude.
Homie Gerard.
Gerard.
Shout out to Gerard.
Yeah, Austin, my dude too, man. Me and Austin started following each other on the gram. Dude is
he is hilarious.
That was a wild. That was a wild.
We're gonna have many of those wild nights. We definitely got to do DC brunch again, and I owe you and my homeboy Jamal a night out in Adams Morgan or the Park 14.
Didn't you tell me like Thursday nights was like the nights or something like that?
For a happy hour at the Park at 14. It's real bougie. Now I'm gonna let you. I mean, but given we're men of certain age, we ain't gonna be like carrying on like crazy and pop locking and twerking. It's more like the club scene or the lounge scene, because ain't really no club scene. The lounge bar,
the lounge
hookah scene. because they don't
Man,
dance
it
no
ain't been
more.
no club scene since in DC for real
It's
since we was in college,
sad.
man. You know,
Since
you
Love and
remember
Dream. Hello?
Love and Dream
Hello?
when we was driving up from we was driving up from
Who you
like
telling?
Norfolk coming
I
up.
rode up with my JB and Lamb. We that was my love crew. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? We went up and we took field trips as young adults
Right.
up
You know,
to yeah, man. Oh, what was the other joint? Like, well, when I moved up here, so I moved to Maryland, DMV area. I was in Woodbridge. I moved to this area in like 08, 09. And back, you know, I was still young thugging, you know what I'm saying? So I was going out to the club. I went to it was a spot called Ibiza. Shout out to Ibiza.
Jason was being
Club Love was still in there. I was that was okay.
Trust me, dude. Whatever, man. I can't talk. Listen, man, I can't talk, for
listen,
real. We was,
but I want to say I do owe you a night out. You know what I'm saying? We gonna do that real soon. But the weather been weird too. Like it's been fucking raining and shitty, and you know. But I owe you a good time.
Anyway, and for y'all weirdos out there,
yeah.
Listen, me and Jason have known each other since we was like in 9th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, whatever. Dude.
9th grade.
This is not no weird. This is nothing weird. So just chill.
Oh,
that's why I'm not even. That's why I'm not even going to be like no homo or whatever. We're grown men of a certain age that we tell each other we love each other and stuff like that, and it's okay. It should be okay anyway. Tell your friends. Tell your male. It's okay for you as a male to tell your male friends that you love them.
Yes, I'm still working on that, but I need to say it more.
I love you, Jason.
I love you too. I don't like saying that. It's like I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to get to the level you are. I'm sorry. I don't like hugging. You know me, like hugging and showing. That's something I need to do. My wife calls me out on this all the time. I like hugging people. I'm just like, but I'm learning growth. I'm evolving. Anyway.
Growth.
All right, so we got baby step. All right, we got all that out of the way. I think we're gonna be arguing this entire broadcast. I want to, you know what? I'm gonna lob it out there. We're gonna talk about this one topic. Then we're going to AEW. And then we're gonna go to AEW, and then we're gonna go to Backlash, which just happened last night, which was, by the way, fucking awesome. I loved every minute of it.
Yeah.
I want to ask you. Franchise and by proxy millions of other people, because I saw this all over the internet. Why y'all acting so motherfucking slow over this title? Why y'all acting like y'all don't understand what Hunter is saying? He is saying that if you're going to be exclusive to Raw, okay. However, we got a big ass company. We don't know who's going to be the champion for real. They probably got like 3 people narrowed down. So we're going to expand it to everybody, to SmackDown and Raw. Why y'all acting like y'all don't understand this shit? Please, maybe you understand.
Okay.
Fix it, Jesus.
Okay. Here we go. Mm-hmm. So this is what should have happened.
Okay.
They should have done this before they did the draft. Okay, they should have done this before they did the draft. They should have held the draft off another month or so until after what's the Night of Champions to do this. And this is why I say this. If you're trying to, and WWE has done a good job for the most part. When they do the brand split, they keep it pretty much separate. Would you agree with that, Jason?
It depends. Sometimes they do a
I would say,
job, but I like when they do it.
For the most,
yeah,
right. For the most part, when they say, "Oh, we're doing a brand split, SmackDown exclusively, Raw exclusively," only time it kind of intermingles was Survivor Series for like gang warfare, and then it intermingles like on the road to WrestleMania. For the so you'll have like the best worker on Raw take on the best worker on SmackDown. Like that happened when Kurt Angle and Shawn Michaels got together and they did their thing. They were both on separate bands, but it's whatever. All right, cool. So my thing is,
by the way, that era is exactly how they should be doing it. That was like the gold standard. Everyththing made sense. Era. It was separate.
Yeah,
right.
It was
whatever.
completely separate.
It was.
What I'm saying?
A
like
mix
of
everything. Yeah.
You remember each brand would have their own pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a
I don't know
SmackDown
if they should go
exclusive
that far,
pay-per-view.
but that I mean that
I right,
helped,
I'm right.
yeah.
So here's the thing. Here's the reason why a lot of us are kind of like, what? So you did the
Mhm.
draft, and before you did the draft, you said, all right, wherever Roman Reigns get drafted, that is going to be the exclusive title for that brand. And we pretty
Mhm.
much knew Roman was going to stay on Friday Night SmackDown.
Mhm.
So he gets drafted to SmackDown, and the undisputed Universal Championship that he has is going to stay there, those
Mhm.
two belts. And so Triple H said, all right, so we got this title, which is now a Raw exclusive. I'm going to repeat that word again, that term again. Raw
Mhm.
exclusive.
Okay.
And so what I'm saying is this,
Mhm.
and what a lot of people are saying, if this is a Raw exclusive thing,
Mhm.
why are we trying to use SmackDown people as well as wait a minute, as Raw
Massage my
people
temples. My
for
therapist
a
told me to do
tournament?
this. Mhm. Mhm.
Granted, we know
Mhm.
the WWE is not a real
Mhm.
sporting I could say not real. It's a scripted
It's
sporting
scripted.
event.
Okay. Mhm. Mhm.
It's scripted, and that things are predetermined. But why would you have a draft first? My thing is this: decide who the champion
Mhm.
is,
Mhm.
have the tournament, decide the champion, have the draft. Boom, there you
Okay.
go. Because what happens is this, and
Mhm.
if you see a diagram, if they show you when they show like the new Raw roster,
Mhm.
it is huge. It is big enough to just use the stars of Raw. Not even the stars of Raw. You could just use the 8 best guys from Raw that's on the
Mhm.
Raw roster, have a tournament, and boom, that's your you know what I'm saying? That's your champion.
Okay.
It
I'm
does, and
triggered.
it
I'm
doesn't,
triggered, but go ahead.
and
Go
now,
ahead.
wait a
Mhm.
minute,
I'm
and it
triggered.
doesn't lessen
Mhm.
it doesn't lessen
Mhm.
their title reign, because if somebody who got drafted to SmackDown, like for
Mhm.
example, who got drafted to SmackDown, let's say AJ Styles,
Bobby
you know what I'm
Lashley.
saying?
He's probably a good example too.
Oh,
Yeah. Bobby.
right,
Yeah.
Bobby
Mhm.
Lashley
Mhm.
got drafted to SmackDown, and he wins it, like, but he's drafted to SmackDown. I, I just I just think that they should have kept it completely separate. It is because my thing is this. That's just like saying, all right, what we're going to do is we're going to have the playoffs for the Super Bowl in the NFL, but we're going to include the XFL teams too that made the playoffs.
Oh God. All right. So I'll say this. One thing I do agree with, although it's probably things happening in the background. Maybe this is the best case scenario, but I do agree that they should have maybe waited for the draft. That way, if you kind of doing this, we pull in for SmackDown, pull in for Raw thing. It's okay. Like people wouldn't bug about.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna I'm gonna say this, and you can rebut, and we can move on. But you have said, and Hollywood, who again is suffering from anal
Mm-hmm.
bleeding, he'll be back. You have said that
Gotta chill.
they WWE does not have enough superstars for it to have heavyweight universal whatever contenders in order to compete for the title. So you can't talk out one side of your neck. Well, Raw should have enough superstars to legitimately compete for a title. When when a lot of people share this sentiment, and the other side of your mouth be like, well, we we can't pull. I mean, you can't. You shouldn't pull from both titles. Like, I mean, I think you could have done both. I think that what he is saying, given the circumstance, like I definitely think they should have, had them done the draft later.
Waited
However,
until
we're
they
not
picked the
doing
chip.
that. They're not doing that. So it's just like It's the same fucking product. It's not the XFL. Come on. It's not the XFL. It's like the East and the West of the NBA. Like it's the same shit. It's still the NBA. Like it's not.
But 2 titles. There's not.
Yeah.
There's listen.
Yeah.
There's right in the NBA. There's an Eastern Conference champion and a Western Conference champion, but they come together to win the NBA championship.
That's correct.
They're not coming together.
Yeah. But it's also wrestling. So they have several belts. Several.
I'll put it like this. Okay, hold on. Let me pull this up. Go ahead and finish your point because I'm trying to find.
I'm pretty much done. It was just like I didn't understand why people were so confused about it. It was just like, well, they have people that. One, I don't think because it's WWE, I think shit changes at the very last minute. You always have Vince in the background who can make that, 12 o'clock, 3 a.m. phone call. I said,
this seems
and change it. So what's that?
1, 2, 3.
But yeah, I just think that this is the best case scenario for what they had to work with.
Okay, so here we go.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the leaked list of the people that will be involved in this.
Yeah. What's the list?
Tournament thing, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Raw, Seth Rollins,
mm-hmm.
Finn Balor, Shinsuke Nakamura, Damian Priest, Miz, and Cody Rhodes. Okay.
6.
SmackDown,
mm-hmm.
Austin Theory, AJ Styles, Bobby Lashley, Rey Mysterio, Edge, and Sheamus. Okay.
Cool. Can we also talk about how some of those names don't make sense?
Exactly. So I'm about to go.
A lot of those names don't make sense. Come on, like Shinsuke.
Like
it doesn't make sense that Austin Theory is in it, but Gunther is not in it. Gunther.
So let me get to this.
That makes no sense. But that's besides the point.
So this is why I said all they had to do was have an 8-man tournament and the best 8 guys or whatever that's on the Raw roster. So this is the Raw roster right now. Cody, of course. You can put Gunther in it. Look, Matt Riddle, Drew McIntyre. Okay.
I guess you could. Yeah, you could put Matt Riddle in it.
The Miz.
Mm-hmm.
Shinsuke.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins.
Mm-hmm.
And if you wanted to, you could put Braun Strowman, Bronson Reed, or hell, if you still wanted to put Finn Balor. That's 8 guys right there. And I done named you other alternatives that you can put to have a tournament to decide who's, and they're the Raw. That's just the Raw roster. I think that's all you need for that to happen.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think the WWE is organized enough to know who they want to be that first champion. Now, outside looking in, if I would, to me, I was just thinking about this the other day. To me, it's simple. Seth fucking Rollins, like he is the number 1 or the number 2, depending on what your point of view is. The fans, he's definitely the number 1 babyface in the company, followed only by Cody. So to me, it makes sense to Seth number 1. I think he should win the belt. 2, and then Cody, you still got that story, you still got him chasing, and then halfway through you can flip him over to the world title, the universal title around WrestleMania. But if you're not planning to give Cody the belt at WrestleMania, it makes sense to give him the belt now. Not to be a long-standing champion. He should always be fighting for it. He should lose it in 6 months and then get it. You know what I'm saying? But I digress.
Well, I saw that WWE. I read an article where WWE they're not trying to. They want to stop the whole switching of titles so quickly, or whatever. They want people to hold the titles just a little bit longer. A little bit longer. Not Roman Reigns length, but hold the title. You know what I'm saying, for like 10 months, maybe a year. You know what I'm saying, or something like that before they lose it. I get my whole thing is this. No, like I said, cool. You want to do what you do. I just think that what they should have done was been like, hey, and I just gave you about a good 10, maybe 12 guys from Raw that you could use that to be a Raw exclusive title and have them go after it. And then you have the other guys over there, SmackDown, doing what they got to do to, go after Theory's US title or else go after, challengers for Roman. Because good God, I mean, what is the match everyone's clamoring for? Bobby versus the Almighty versus the Tribal Chief. You know what
And
I'm saying?
honestly,
Like,
we really want the Bloodline versus the Hurt Business. Like that's the
right?
only.
Yeah. Well,
to me, that's what I want.
right.
But that's neither here nor there.
Right.
They're
And
not
then on top
together.
of that, we still got a couple of guys that are free agents that could have hopped in there too. Like,
Brock,
even though I'm not a big fan of
almost.
him, I can say I think I'm not a fan of almost like that. I think that was like one of his best performances,
And we'll talk about that. I
last
thought so too. Yeah. But
last
he's working with
night as
Seth.
well.
Like
So
he's working with the best in the business. It's easy to have a good match when you're working with Seth.
exactly. So
I'm
yeah,
just
so
saying.
I don't think it's a confusion or anything. It's just like from people not understanding. I think it's a thing of like, but I thought this is a Raw exclusive. And then too, on top of that, the brand split goes into effect tomorrow night. So you see what I'm saying? So, and if this is an exclusive belt, then what are we doing here? But whatever it is, we'll see what happens.
Well, we'll get back to WWE in a few minutes because I definitely want to talk about Backlash. But I want to give some other promotions a shine, and I definitely want to talk about this. I'll go to Impact real quick, and then we'll jump to AEW. But Impact, I didn't watch it, but I did hear an interview with Trinity Fatu, and she was on a podcast. She said one of the reasons that she left Raw was because somebody talked to her crazy, spicy. She didn't like, and she felt stagnant and lost. And I mean, it was a good interview. She wasn't trashing the WWE or anything, but she was just kind of.
She wasn't feeling the glow.
She wasn't feeling the glow, probably for some racist white person that Vince hired, but that's either here or there. But she did talk about the people that reached out to her during that time, which obviously Monet, Sasha Banks, you know what I'm saying? Jade Cargill,
yeah.
So they have developed a friendship. She was talking about that. Yeah. So I mean, shout out to them, and for being in solidarity. And CM Punk is for the people. I keep trying to tell y'all. She shouted out CM Punk for being one of the people that reached out to her and was there to support her. So shout out to that, actually all of them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I want to see her win. I want to see her succeed. I did see them set up a feud that they have with the current champion. I mean, she's obviously probably one of the, at least in my mind, one of the biggest people in the entire company. So I mean, they should roll out the red carpet. But I know she'll be a very giving performer, and lose when she needs to lose, wins when she needs to win. So I think that's a good place for her to be. Even though as a fan, I would prefer. Sometimes I'm like, man, I wish she was on AEW because I watch AEW on a regular basis, but they don't know what the fuck they're doing sometimes. So I was like, I don't know. Maybe
I'm not
gonna
say I think I'm not gonna say I'm not going to say they don't know what they're doing, but I think they have so many women wrestlers now that they're trying to put spotlights on. It's like where what I'm saying, was she where was she put in? Because it's like the two biggest women stars on their show are Britt Baker and Jade Cargill. You know what I'm saying? Britt Baker and Jade Cargill. But then you have Saraya, aka Paige, Paige,
and that
Ruby
whole
Riot. That little, what I'm saying,
Riho.
that little crew.
Yeah.
Riho, along with the other Japanese wrestler. She just came back.
Yeah,
I can't think of her
she
name.
Came back with a kendo stick. Yeah. You got her.
The kendo stick and stuff. So I
Jamie
mean,
Hayter,
they have
which people love her. People love her, by the way.
Yeah, Jamie Hayter,
solid. She's really fucking solid.
Very much over. So it's about a good eight or so girls that are really getting some shine or getting their push in AEW, and it's like, well, does she go there, and where does she fall in, and then also does she fall back? She puts by the spot when you can go to over to Impact, where they don't have as many prominent saying women wrestlers. Like, not saying that they can't wrestle, but they do have some
Mhm.
young ladies over there who can. But it gives a different spot. So we'll
Okay,
see.
got you. So I want to talk about one subject that blew up our personal group chat, and we'll get into goalposts moving. Which is I'm gonna just say it. I didn't think they would sell
Move
this
the
many tickets.
chain.
AEW 60,000. Well, they reported 50, but now it's gone up to reportedly
70.
60,000 tickets sold at Wembley for their big pay-per-view later this year. Uh, you
Mm-hmm.
know, I hate to do the but we'll get into the but I just want to say, like, WCW, for whatever reason, their business model didn't do like big, huge stadiums as grand and awesome WCW was like,
Mm-mm.
and they have always been the number two. Of course, at one time they were the number one promotion, but
The
I mean,
only
no,
stadium they did was the Hogan Goldberg
the
that I can
Georgia
remember
Dome, right?
at at the Georgia Dome.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they went to Japan and they would do the joint New Japan
Yeah.
WCW super shows over there, those were like big stadiums. But as far as frequently doing stadium shows, nah, they didn't. They never really, saying they never really did. I can recollect. If they have, people just, drop a comment down and let me know. But the only one that I know that was a strictly WCW stadium show was the Monday Night Raw when Goldberg defeated Hollywood Hogan for the world title.
Yeah, and I remember that like it was yesterday. It was huge, but
Yeah.
I mean, even that, like, I mean, for AEW, who is obviously they're a number two company, to
5 years
be
old,
able
6 years old.
5 years old,
Mm-hmm.
WCW, it took them a long time to get to that point. ECW never got to that point. TNA, Impact Wrestling,
Never.
never got to this point. So I mean, I'm gonna need
Mm-hmm.
y'all to put some respect on AEW's name. Like, I mean, of course they have their faults, but a lot of that has to do with just how business is, like how wrestling is right now. And they are, of course, the big kahuna in the room, the big monster in the room is WWE. But I'm gonna be honest with you, like, I
Mm-hmm.
did not expect them to get these many people
Mm-hmm.
up and running. A lot of people say like, oh well, it's London, they were the rabid fan base. Who gives a fuck? Like
It,
60,000 tickets for like first day. That's amazing.
so
That
so what
point blank
so
period.
what people got so what you gonna hear next is people saying stuff like, oh well, companies are buying up some of those tickets and stuff like that. That happens for every wrestling
Mhm.
show
Even for
and
your
stuff like
favorite
that, where
wrestling
companies
promotion,
buy.
that you're capping
Yeah,
for.
even for
Continue.
WWE that you're capping so hard for. And here's the thing, we're not. Here's the big thing, and this is what I have realized, and
Okay.
I brought this up with you, with Jason. I brought this up with D'Lo, and I brought this up with Bunch. There's a lot of people out here claiming to be wrestling fans
Mm.
when they are just WWE fans. My thing is this: say you're a WWE fan and call it what it is. Just call it what it is, and guess what? It's okay. It's okay to be a WWE fan.
It's
Me
okay.
personally, I am
Mhm.
a wrestling fan.
Mm.
I have been a wrestling fan since I was 7 years old. I'm 42, man. And
You
and
old as
believe it or
fuck.
not,
God damn, I didn't know you was that. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
you're older than me, sir. Thank you.
Shut up. Go ahead.
Thank you. And believe it or not, like growing up as a little kid,
Mhm.
I was cool with WWF, but NWA country, baby,
Mhm.
down there in Norfolk,
In the
Virginia,
South,
I
Norfolk. You
was
heard him.
in
He
the
ain't say
South down
Norfolk. He said Norfolk because that's how you say it. By the
Norfolk,
way,
Virginia, man.
Mhm.
We were daggone NWA, WCW dudes. Like,
That was the
you
territory
would
down
see
there.
that was a
Mhm.
territory. You would see
The
the horsemen down
Carolinas,
there.
Virginia,
Yeah,
basically the South.
one of
Yeah.
the biggest stars in the 80s. Who career got cut short because of a motorcycle accident. Magnum TA is
Mm.
from our hometown in Portsmouth, Virginia, yo. So like,
P-Town.
you know what I'm saying? So like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? We grew up. being wrestling for like I knew who, of course, you knew who Hulk Hogan was because WWE had the national
Right.
TV exposure and everything. But and I grew to like WWE, of course, because it was the spectacle. But I was a WCW fan, and then on top of that, along with that, then I got, because of WCW, NWA, I got introduced to like New Japan Pro Wrestling when they used to do their super shows. Like, oh snap, who are these Japanese dudes out here who are killing it? That what I'm saying, you never seen before. And then you start seeing other wrestlers and stuff like that. And I appreciate every organization that ever has been for what they are. Even some of the daggone, as the good brother Jim Cornette would say, backyard carny, carny wrestling bullshit. Is I can find something that I can appreciate,
that you can appreciate
out of that I can appreciate out of it and be like, all right, cool. And not just sit there and just trash something because it's not what you're used to.
But
WCW going out. I say this: WCW going out of business, in my opinion, hurt the
entire
wrestling
industry.
business,
I agree.
The industry more than it helped, because you have a serious generation of people who only know the WWE way, but then you also got people who are our age or a little bit younger who completely forgot about the WC. Who forgot about the W, like I'm saying, a different a different type of
a different wrestling style, company,
type of organization,
everything.
Yeah.
I will say this. I just hate this, and it goes both ways. WCW marks, AEW, Taliban. It's so annoying. It's just like you will move the goalposts depending on, like, hey, WWE had an amazing fucking pay-per-view last night. I think it was one of my favorite pay-per-views of the year just because of the crowd and everything. Same thing on the flip side. AEW had amazing. They had a pretty decent show, but I mean, dude, like 60,000. They're gonna damn near sell out Wembley in an entire another country. Something that most wrestling promotions would that's their wet dream to have it. And Tony Khan is about to accomplish that. So I think we got to get out of this tribalism. And it literally happens with every fandom. One of the most toxic fandoms in the world, me and you are sort of a part of, Star Wars. The most toxic group of miserable motherfuckers. I'm just like, I just want to.
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know. I don't know what's more toxic, Star Wars or Star Trek.
I don't get with them Trekkies because they ain't none of my business. So but you, it's a lot of, it's just I know everything is tribalism, like us against them.
Yeah,
two things can suck. Two things can be good at the same time, or two things can be like kind of in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Without you absolutely shitting on it. Everything. If you don't like the product, don't fucking watch it. It's so much wrestling product out there. You don't have to watch everything. I can't watch everything. We do a podcast. It's crazy to me, like the goalposts moving for these companies. I mean, more so with I see it more so with AEW because they're kind of the little engine that could. I'm naturally for the underdog. So I'm rooting for them. But I can still criticize them.
Me and Jason went to the very first show they had on TNT in DC.
We did.
We went to the show. It was a hell of a damn. A hell of a damn show. It was electric. It was electric in there and everything. And we appreciated it for what it was. An alternative to what we're normally seeing. Be happy about that. Think about this. If we didn't have an alternative, think about like considering how WWE have made these cuts and stuff like that. Think about all the guys that are in AEW, and let's just go ahead and put it out there. Guys who are WWE caliber who wouldn't be on TV right now.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't be on TV because there's no alternative. And I mean, even and at that point, TNA was really, Impact was really doing bad. Ring of Honor, I guess you could say, what's the next, but like last week conversation we had, some people didn't know what time Ring of Honor came on, but then now you got it where Ring of Honor is not necessarily doesn't exist. They went out of business, and we probably would have never got Ring of Honor back, because of
been gone.
Tony Khan and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Thanos snapped that thing. So,
yeah. So
yeah,
you
man,
know,
just have what
just
you
calm the
have.
fuck down. God damn.
Back to what you said, Jason, as far as toxic fan base of Star Wars. I got another podcast with my boy Rashad where we talk about it.
Shout him out.
And
Shout him out.
people,
What's the name of the podcast?
shout out to our podcast. It's a Pun Further Review. You can find us on YouTube, but the Star Wars content we talk about is we're Lando's kids because Lando raised us in Lando Calrissian. And it's like
Lando got a lot of baby mamas, so yeah, y'all
right.
We probably all want to be his kids.
And the conversation I basically had was this, because people were saying, "Oh, I didn't like this, I didn't like that." Yo, be happy we have what we have. We are in a perfect time because me and Jason, being Star Wars fans, we had to wait like decades in between before new Star Wars content.
And then if you didn't like the movie, it won't shit to come out. You didn't have Mandalorian, you didn't have Boba Fett. You didn't have you have the Disney fucking Plus. That's amazing. That puts out amazing content that you can only get from the comic books. The Bad Batch.
Yeah, you didn't have the Bad Batch. You would have never got the last season. You would have never got the last season of Clone Wars. Put it like that. But that's neither here nor there.
Yes.
I just had to make that rant. Just be happy for what we have right now, as far as when it comes to wrestling.
My thing is criticize. That's fine. Like we criticize on, but just don't be a fucking negative Nancy. Everything. If you hate wrestling so much, don't fucking watch it. There's plenty of other entertainments. But anyway, that's our rant. I think we all feel that way. This, the toxicity. But anyway, I wanted to I was gonna do a little not so great news about AEW, but I think I'll mention it real quick. The one, we bigged up AEW, right? One thing that does really concern me as a fan, and somebody who wants the business to grow, is the very low rating number that AEW got, under 800, actually 776K, which is one of the lowest that they've gotten. Of course, they have heavy competition. Of course, we have this talk every single NBA season. The ratings drop for not only Raw, but of course, a lot of the NBA shows are doing that hour. So, doing the time that AEW is broadcasting.
The NHL hockey is now like starting to pick up in the United States since it's that ESPN, and their playoffs are, their playoffs, and then too the NBA games have preempted some of the AEW shows to different times and stuff, and you're like, well, when does come on that? So that's something that can be worked on. It could be an anomaly, but it's something that we just keep an eye on. So let's just wait until after the NBA finals or else when the NBA finals to quote Aaron Rodgers, RELAX. Relax.
Oh my. Well, let's talk about the pay-per-view that was yesterday. I'm gonna tell you, like I was planning on watching on Backlash, right? And I usually, honestly, during this time, hold on, what? D-Lo!
What do we have here?
What's going on, fellas?
Look at this. Everything good? Everything? Man, good to see you.
Good to see you guys. It's been a couple weeks.
Yeah, well, man.
Yeah. Good to see you, brother.
Yeah, man. We haven't killed each other yet. I'm sure you'll throw some fire in this. We've been talking about a lot of
beige. This is the most beige show we've done, man, for real.
Yeah, and I hate it.
Where's Bunch at?
He has anal bleeding that we've been talking about throughout the broadcast, and we thoughts and prayers. Would you please stop this? Thoughts and prayers. My God. Anal bleeding. That is, I hear, is very painful. But what we were going to talk about is Backlash that happened last night. It had our little group chat, all the flutter. I absolutely loved it. Obviously the parts we're going to shit on a little bit, but I loved everything. Like I think they should have these minus the major 3 or 4 pay-per-views. They need to have them elsewhere because the fucking Puerto Rican, except for them being racist to Bianca, and we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. Except for that, I thought it
Hang
was.
on,
I thought it
fellas.
was as lit. I think I offended him.
Nah.
It was.
I will say this.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you the first thing that I was very much happy about.
Yes.
They took all the WrestleMania part off the title.
Yes.
WrestleMania's Backlash.
I
was so happy.
Yes.
That it's just called Backlash again, or whatever. Because Backlash has always been, for the most part, or so, the pay-per-view after WrestleMania, basically like the consequences of what happened on Mania coming on Backlash. And I didn't get a chance to see all of it. I saw clips and stuff or whatever. I'm gonna check it all out again, but because I got crazy work hours, I got to go to bed. But good God Almighty, the first, I'm gonna say, hour and a half I did watch. Lord have mercy. I mean,
Io Sky. I hope I'm saying her name right. And Bianca Belair.
Yeah,
they tore the fucking house down. They tore the fucking house down.
They tore the house down. Probably one of the best women matches in a minute. You know what I'm saying? Just straight up. And as far as pure just women match in a minute, it was a great match. The crowd was into it. The ending. I'm not going to hold you. At one point, I thought, "Is this going to be?
This is going to be it."
Yeah.
Yep. It made you dismiss.
But
what were you about to say, D-Lo?
What was the better women's match? Bianca Belair and Io Sky, or Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair from WrestleMania?
That's hard because I know they're the top of the game, all four of those women, but I didn't expect that much out of. You know what? I expected less out of the Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. So I'm gonna say slight advantage to them because I didn't expect it to go that way, and I know Io Sky and Bianca Belair. I know how they can rock. You know what I'm saying? I know what they did in NXT.
Yeah.
So, but they just all four of those women, both matches exceeded my expectations. Like I was into that shit. I watched it a couple hours before because I didn't see it live, and you know what was great about that match? The way that Bianca Belair handled that hostile crowd that really wanted Io Sky to win. We can talk about the reason behind that, but I think she.
I say we leave it to our residential LWO member. Or, you know,
the funniest part.
Y'all grow every week, so.
We're like Hydra. We just keep growing. Now the funniest part was reading on Twitter is like, why is everyone booing Bianca? I'm like, pull up a chair and let's talk about 400 years of what's going on. So I just found that hilarious because they were so shocked that the black people were being booed, and it's like y'all have no fucking clue like how Puerto Ricans and just Caribbeans in general feel about black people. So I was not surprised that she was being booed.
So let me ask you, D-Lo, let me ask you this. Would you say that is more prevalent to the Puerto Ricans and the Caribbean people that are from that island than the ones that live here in the States? Like, I'm pretty sure here in the States, some still have some little resentment, but like a lot of New York Puerto Ricans kind of gravitate towards, from what I've seen, towards us as black people more, you know what I'm saying, more than folk from the island, to say the least. I'm just asking you.
I would say so because, like, just speaking from like, Dominicans and stuff, they dislike Haitians vehemently. Like they're like the Mexicans for the United States. They come in, take our jobs, that type of mindset, and it's like Dominican.
It's the same piece of land. That's the funniest part about it, though.
Right.
It's the same piece of land. It's just split right down the middle.
And it's like, well, they got a little bit more than Haiti, and they, unfortunately, but yeah, like in that area, it's like you will deny, and it's one of those things where it's like my blood goes back to Spanish folks, not the mulatto like mixed blood from the West African trade. It's like mine is pure blood. My family ancestry comes from Spain, not from Africa. So it's just generational thing.
Look at these three faces right here. Do we look all that different? No. Okay. I'm just saying. I know we got differences, and I'm not trying to take away from what you are, but come on now, we don't look that different.
All I'm gonna say is this. I would just say this: when it was happening, it was like let's go EO and stuff like that. It was, I just started thinking, and the first thing that came to mind, I sent y'all the link from Godfrey. Me no black, no, puppy. Me no black, comedian Godfrey. And the thing is, I have seen this in person, literally like a dude that is like. Some people might look at me and be like, "Yo, you biracial or you Latino?" Right. I've caught it all, but no, both of my parents are black. We're just lighter skin.
I'm mixed with light skin and dark skin. That's all.
But I'm talking about some dude. Right, I'm talking about some dudes that are blacker than this shirt I have on right now, who are like Puerto Rican or Dominican, and will be like, "No, I'm not black," and I'm like, "The hell?"
I'm Dominican.
Like, wait one damn minute. Like, what the hell?
I mean,
what the hell you mean you that black? Like,
hey, we do the.
I'm like, bro, you blacker
so whatever
than
you want to be, I'm gonna call you that. But we know the truth.
No, me no black. He's like, what he say? He's like, they're trying to salsa the black off of themselves.
I'm like,
okay,
nigga.
Salsa the black out.
Yeah, I'm like, all right,
like,
nigga.
No, me no black.
Yeah. Me neither.
Well, what did OJ say? I'm not black, I'm OJ. Isn't that what OJ said?
Right.
Yeah. There's something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That takes us right to our next topic. One group of people they did not fucking boo was Bad Bunny and Damien. Holy shit! In my opinion, y'all can feel differently. I know D-Lo feels a little bit some type of spicy way about the ending, but I thought overall this match was just a fun ass pro wrestling match with random ass people. I have to say, as Attitude Era fan, even though I think some eras are superior, but an Attitude Era fan, like most of us are, seeing Carlito, marked me out. Like that, to me, that made the whole pay-per-view. He's jacked. He looked like he just stepped from 2006. Like, bro, like seeing that. Savio Vega, when I first started watching
Savio
for real. Savio watching WWE, that was my dude, man.
What got me.
Yeah, so, both of those guys, I was like, this is amazing.
So remember when Austin started, you know what I'm saying, getting his little shine in WWE when he left the Ringmaster gimmick, and him and Savio had some classic matches. I think they had a leather strap match.
Yes.
And they were beating the hell out of each other. And it was the King of the Ring. That King of the Ring where you get the Austin 316. That he had a match early with Savio where he got busted up in his mouth and he had to go get stitches. Literally had to go get stitches to come back to the arena to finish out the match against Jake the Snake, man. So I thought it was great to have, you know what I'm saying, to have that. If you remember, I think about 2 or 3 years ago, Carlito was in the Royal Rumble, and he looked great then.
I thought he was coming back.
He came back and did like Monday Night Raw. Yeah. Right. He came back, did Monday Night Raw the next night. Looked great pop, and nothing happened for him. So I don't know
that he had though
most
at
likely
WWE was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Biggest pop of the night, I dare to say.
I mean, he's one of the biggest. He's one of the biggest Puerto Rican stars to ever come out of, you know what I'm saying, just like his father was, Carly Carlone, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I mean, it was, that match gave you everything. And like you said, I think the LWO is like, they getting new members like the NWO did after the first.
It's crazy how heavily they're being featured, and they just lose every match. It's like, I don't get it.
Yes.
Like,
and the fans still cheer them like, yeah, we all about to get your ass as well. Yeah,
right. It's like they're jobbers, and then one of them's Filipino, right?
Yeah, I know that's right. One of them is
really?
Filipino. Yeah. I think Joaquin is Filipino. Yeah.
Yeah.
Join? Like, is that allowed? Is there like a commission that we can, make sure that I don't know that that's allowed.
Delegation has to rule on that, I think.
Oh, y'all got a delegation too. We have a delegation.
Yeah.
We kick people out all the time. We kick people out all the.
Latino.
Do you have a puppy?
Kick each other out. Oh,
you have a dog?
This is my dog. This is my grandfather's dog.
I didn't know you were a dog person.
Oh yeah, I love dogs. This dude, like, I'm back home in Virginia right now for a couple of days, and
that's
this
right.
dude
That's
like misses me. Whenever I come back home, he like loses his ish. And so happy to see me. So he been roaming around and he been want to play with me. So
I did not know you were a dog person. That's cool.
Right.
One thing I did want to ask D-Lo here is about, well, Damian did lose the match. I thought it made sense for him to lose the match out of all the shenanigans. I personally felt like the match was good because Bad Bunny was struggling the whole match and he managed to win. Bad Bunny, by the way, is amazing, part-time wrestler. But he did lose. He did lose, and now he's featured as one of the guys that's going to compete for the new world title. Thoughts on that?
Hey, D-Lo, you missed the conversation we had earlier about the mixing of the bloods for the breeds.
That's my thing.
Title tournament.
Mm-hmm. I don't understand why it's a Raw title, but you got SmackDown folks challenging for it. And I get it. If a SmackDown guy wins, they move to Raw. But it just... SmackDown has its own championship. So that doesn't make any sense why they're doing it this way. But I think... But it also speaks to how they don't have the depth. And we talked about this like a couple of months ago. How many main eventers do they really have?
Yes, we did.
How many main eventers do they really have? They're dusting off Edge. Edge's been gone for a minute. AJ Styles, he's been gone for like a year, and all of a sudden he's getting a title shot. Like, what did he do to deserve it? Like,
he's AJ Styles.
Cody Rhodes. It's like Cody Rhodes doesn't want this belt, so why is he in the tournament? Why don't you put Omos in it or something? Is Omos in it? I haven't even checked to see who
you're his biggest fan. Why is it? I mean, he did lose twice on the last pay-per-views, and probably more than that.
What you talking about?
Even though he had a good match. He had a good match against Seth Rollins.
The Miz? Like, why is the Miz on here?
Omos. Yeah. I'm not sure why he's not in. We talked about this a little bit earlier. I'm not sure why Gunther isn't in it, but Austin.
Yeah, why is Austin Theory? Like,
even though I will say,
I told you,
Austin Theory, I don't think he should win it. But if they're trying to do a shock thing for ratings, I can see them giving him the belt. Shouldn't do it. Would piss people off.
I feel like whoever
would have
wins.
a nice little run, but I could see them shocked doing that because to me, and we talked about this a little bit earlier.
You know what should happen?
The two main people that they should do is Seth and Cody, but I don't know.
Not another time though. Like,
you know what should
they
happen?
already wrestled 3 times.
They should put if they do put the belt on Austin Theory. Roman Reigns needs to come out and be like, so I guess your daddy came back, and just walk off.
Remember him immediately.
when Austin Theory had,
No, I was just saying, emasculate him immediately. Just castrate him. The first promo is like,
remember when he did that? He was like, "Your daddy ain't here no more." He was like, "Your daddy ain't here no more. You don't want these type of problems." And then he should be like, if they do, he'd be like, so. But they wouldn't do that because that completely diminishes the title if they do that. But it would be hilarious. It would be hilarious. It would be completely hilarious.
Franchise would love that. I did want to talk about closing here. Cody versus Brock Lesnar. And I'll go to D-Lo just because I'm going to be entertained by his answer. But what did you think about this match? Cody won last night. He prevailed against the beast, Brock Lesnar. Thoughts?
I feel like WWE has no idea how to book a babyface. Like, they've been Cody's whole story is being handed to them on a silver platter. and they fucked it up at WrestleMania, but by him not winning because Roman's been on vacation for the last 6 weeks. And then number two, he gets beaten up for 10 minutes on Monday Night Raw by Brock Lesnar. And then number three, when they get to the actual match,
he got his ass whipped for a long time.
It went on for a minute. And then the pay-per-view match, he basically gets his ass kicked for 10 minutes, and then he wins on a fluke roll-up and then runs away like he's 5 years old and he got his hand caught in the cookie jar. Like, I'm not really sure what they're doing with this dude, but like, I mean, it's weird because he's over. Like, he's getting the biggest crowd reactions on the show, but the way they're booking him, right? But the way they're booking him is like, y'all might lose this audience if y'all keep booking him the way like they are. Like, he should have been more competitive in the match. It just felt like most of Brock's matches, he kicks their ass for 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 10 F5s, 10 German suplexes, and then somehow the other guy wins because Brock Lesnar slipped on a banana peel or something. You know what I mean? It's just weird booking. I don't know.
Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Oh,
no, go ahead.
Okay, I got to say this. I could not disagree more. I think that with Brock Lesnar, a lot of stuff is baked into the pie. Brock Lesnar is not gonna have a 30-minute, Iron Man match. Okay, he ain't paid by the hour. You know what you were gonna get with Brock Lesnar. He has the same basic match for 10 years, and mainstream WWE fans eat that shit up, or at least it seems like they eat this shit up. I don't particularly like it, but I know what Brock is gonna have. I think that, by Cody, it was a tall order. Cody had to win that match because he just got so brutalized and he lost to Roman Reigns. I felt like he absolutely had to win that match. I think that the way that he beat him, to me, it made sense. He did bloody up Brock Lesnar. First of all, I did not know they allow blood anymore. We can talk about that later, but I thought it looked at times that Cody belonged in the ring with him. Now, did he sort of cheat? Not cheat, but did he take advantage? Yeah, he's going against Brock. To me, it made sense because they still want to book Brock as this crazy beast, and he has been losing, except for Omos. He has been kind of, not shown to be as invincible. So to me, I get where they were going. I also get why people were like, y'all could have did a little better. But overall, I think they did exactly what they needed to do. They will probably have another match. It's going to be pretty similar if they have another match. It's baked into the pudding. He's gonna beat the shit out of Cody, and Cody may pull it off, or he just might beat the fuck out of him. That's Brock Lesnar.
But
he's 46 or 45. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not gonna go round for round. Same thing with in lesser degree, Bobby. Bobby ain't gonna have no crazy Eddie Guerrero level match. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But it's the whole thing with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and the Usos. They beat the Usos at WrestleMania and they won the belts. Why are they still feuding 6 weeks later? Cody beat Brock. All right, let's move on. Like, why do we have to watch this match again? There's no, unless Cody wins the belt or something. I don't know. Like, why are we having a rematch? It's done.
I will say that Bloodline match, even though it was like a kind of a piss break match because it was right by the crazy Bad Bunny match, and then the
that should have opened the match or something.
Yeah, I thought all the performers did good. I thought they did manage to spark my interest, especially with the Solo Sequoia thing. Like, personally, like, however, I think I want this to end. So it's kind of should have been. They jumped the shark. It should have been kind of deleted.
What's that?
It's the WWE.
I'm your brother.
It's ever ending, baby.
He ain't your brother. I'm your brother.
I did like that. You ain't him. You ain't him.
I stand by what
that whole exchange got me. I was like, all right, I'm kind of into it.
I stand by what I said, though. I think Solo Sikoa might be the one that beats Roman Reigns. Not Cody, but that's just me.
You were like the first. You were the first person I heard say that, and you know what? If it happens, we salute you, sir.
Yes.
You really
Honestly, it makes a little bit more sense every day.
Yeah.
Because Solo is firing off all cylinders. His he's got the top people backing him, in the company. It could happen. It could be a Dave Bautista Triple H type joint where he's thumbs down and just what I'm saying?
Right.
But who knows? I feel like franchise really
I can
wants
see
to
it
say
now
something.
I can see it now where Roman used to hell out Jimmy or Jay, and then he looks at Solo and be like, "Solo, finish it," and Solo acts like he's about to do it, and turn around and hits the spike on Roman, and that'd be the end of the bloodline. I think that would be damn, because he always, whenever he wants something done, he just be like, "Solo," or whatever. So, yeah, I mean, it is starting to go. If you're going to keep the bloodline together, let's try to get another feud with them. And also, let's stand with the bloodline, not really the bloodline type stuff. So, what's going to happen with the tag team championships? Is that going to be a Raw exclusive belt?
I heard they're going to bounce back.
They're going to go on both shows.
They're going to bounce.
But they don't have tag teams for them to feud with.
That's part of the reason why they're going to bounce back, because they don't have.
But they're just floating in the air, just like there's no like.
That is one thing I definitely don't like. Like in theory, you have free agents. Like that's something I don't think they put such an emphasis on.
Yeah.
I just see it as a recipe for disaster. Like you've seen this before. Where you don't have a strong brand because everybody's bouncing back for again the perfect model for this was during the ruthless aggression era. It was so distinct and I feel for the show. They were produced differently, and even though SmackDown is produced differently from Raw because SmackDown's watchable, with the guys floating back and forth, it's not as good as it needs to be, and it's not working in my opinion.
Oh well,
yeah,
it's the way it rumbles.
Yeah, well, that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Jason?
Whatever the fuck they say.
Where can they find us, Jason?
They can find us at Rassling Hard on Twitter, or they can hit us up at IG at hard_R_Rassling, or Facebook at the Fans of the Federation, but we don't really be checking it like that, but we're gonna start checking it. But anyway, or if y'all want to email us at hard Rassling RASSLING at gmail.com, or other fine platforms like Anchor, Spotify, and YouTube. Yeah, that's the best one. We get the most views from that one. So shout out to YouTube.
Yeah.
Any last things y'all want to say? Thanks for joining us, D-Lo.
All right, man. I appreciate you guys.
D-Lo, thanks for coming in, brother. We're glad you gave the slide on up in here and everything. And Bunch, we got you next week, Playboy.
We appreciate you, and I really hope that anal bleeding.
Go ahead, D-Lo. I feel like you're about to say something.
Sorry.
Take us home, D-Lo.
I got the hot tag, and I came in and cleaned house, so hopefully, and fuck Bray Wyatt. The fact that he needs that he needs a writer to book his own shit is ridiculous.
Just go.
Like the fact that they're hiring one writer specifically for him. This man hasn't even clocked in to work for 2 months. 3 months.
You know what?
No, 4 months. He hasn't. This is ridiculous. This man hasn't shown up since the Royal Rumble to work, and he's getting paid millions and millions of dollars. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, they got to hire a personal writer for him to try to make sense of all the bullshit that he's been showing us since October. So I hope I never see this guy on television again. If he does return back to the backwoods Bray Wyatt, then I'm all on board. But his gimmick is terrible. His brother's terrible. He's a terrible wrestler.
Why the brother got to catch a stray?
No, he's catching strays. I mean, he's getting paid, so good for him for looking out for his brother and getting him paid, but this gimmick is terrible, and I hope I never see this dude ever again.
Ooh.
Y'all have a nice evening.
AEW selling 70,000 tickets. Who cares about the ratings if they're making $8 million?
We just gonna
move the chains.
Like, we got to move the goalposts. Got to move the goalposts. Well, they sold that on a Sunday. Can they sell 70,000 tickets on a Wednesday show? I'm sure that's going to be the argument now. So good for AEW. It's healthy for the wrestling business to have two major promotions. So, yeah.
That was beautiful. You just wrapped up the entire show.
We'll see you next week. Closing out real hot. I love it. Spicy.
Love it.
Spicy. Peace out, y'all.